This was موسى كوسه in 1980, the Libyan ambassador to London, but he was expelled for backing the assassination of Gaddafi opponents living in the UK. When he returned to Libya, he was chief of spies, and some say Gaddafi's head of interrogation. This is Abu Salim prison, where Gaddafi once dumped political opponents. Out of the ruins, we acquired tapes of inmates being tortured. The images were taken in May this year, after موسى كوسه had fled. But former prisoners are now coming forward to describe his hands-on role in extracting information. Often, he would leave the interrogation to his juniors, and he'd sit here and wait for the victim to be delivered with confession into his presence. On other occasions, he'd be the one delivering the blows. Mufta al-Thawadi spent nearly 2 decades here, 8 years of it in isolation, in a cell with just a hole in the ceiling for light. It was here he came across موسى كوسه.
While I was being questioned, موسى كوسه was electrocuting me in my neck with the electric rod. And then while I was talking, he told me, "Shut up," and struck me with the electric rod on my tooth here and broke it.
When Tony Blair met with Gaddafi in 2004, Britain's improved relations had been mediated by موسى كوسه. And it was Britain he chose to defect to at the start of the uprising. He stayed for 2 weeks. Mufta al-Thawadi believes he should never have been allowed to leave.
موسى كوسه practiced torture. موسى كوسه tried to give Western people the impression that this regime wasn't a criminal regime, and this in its own right is a crime. This is why it's imperative that the West, whether it's governments or people, must hand over this criminal to justice.
But موسى كوسه is no longer in the West. We found him staying at this luxury resort in Qatar. Hello, Mr. Kousa, BBC Television. How many people are you responsible for torturing, Mr. Kousa, over the years? How many people are you responsible for torturing, Mr. Kousa? Some of them you tortured yourself, didn't you?
What do you want?
These are all questions. As further allegations emerge, it's likely the International Criminal Courts will want to discover more about موسى كوسه's role in crimes against humanity. Paul Kenyon, BBC News.